was a quiet evening when Emma decided to take a drive through the winding back roads of her small town. The sun had dipped below the horizon, and the shadows of trees stretched long across the pavement. She loved the solitude these drives brought, a time to clear her head and escape the constant noise of the world. Tonight, though, there was something different in the air, a thickness, an unsettling stillness that made her chest tighten. She told herself it was just the chill of the October night and turned the radio up to drown out her unease. As the road narrowed and the trees closed in, Emma spotted something in the distance. A figure was standing at the edge of the road, barely illuminated by her headlights. It was a man dressed in dark, tattered clothes. He wasn't moving, just standing there, staring into the woods. Emma slowed her car as she approached, her instincts battling with her curiosity. Maybe he needs help, she thought, but as she got closer, she noticed his face. His eyes seemed hollow, too wide, as if he wasn't looking at the forest, but at something far beyond it. The moment her car passed him, the radio crackled with static. Emma jumped, fumbling to turn it down. When she glanced in her rearview mirror, the man was gone. She slammed on the brakes and looked back down the road, but it was empty. Her heartbeat quickened as she scanned the darkened trees, but there was no sign of him. "Just keep driving," she whispered to herself, her voice shaky. The road seemed to stretch longer than usual, as if the drive itself were growing. Her headlights barely cut through the inky blackness, and the once familiar turns now felt foreign. Emma tried to calm her nerves, focusing on the rhythm of the tires against the pavement, but then she saw it again. The same man. This time he was standing in the middle of the road, facing her car. Emma's breath hitched as she slammed on the brakes, her tires screeching against the asphalt. She stopped just a few feet from him. He didn't move. His expression remained blank, his hollow eyes fixed on her. She honked the horn, the sound echoing into the emptiness, but he didn't flinch. "What do you want?" she shouted, her voice trembling. The man tilted his head slowly, unnaturally, as if trying to understand her words. And then he smiled. It wasn't a kind smile or a reassuring one. It was jagged, too wide for his face, revealing teeth that looked sharp and unnatural. Emma's hands shook as she threw the car into reverse, desperate to put distance between herself and the figure. But as she backed away, the man began to walk toward her. His movements were jerky, unnatural, like a puppet with its strings being yanked. Emma's heart pounded in her chest as she reversed faster, her eyes darting between him and the rearview mirror. The road behind her seemed endless, no turn or escape in sight. And then, in an instant, he was gone. One moment he was there, advancing on her car, and the next, the road was empty again. Emma's breathing was ragged as she slammed on the brakes, her knuckles white against the steering wheel. She scanned the area, her eyes wide and frantic. "This isn't real," she muttered. "It can't be real." The radio crackled again, this time louder, and a faint voice whispered through the static. It was soft at first, almost indiscernible, but it grew clearer with each passing second. "You shouldn't have stopped," it said, the voice low and chilling. Emma screamed, slamming the car into drive and flooring the gas pedal. The tires screeched as the car surged forward, her only thought being to get as far away as possible. The trees blurred past her, and the road seemed to twist and turn in impossible ways. It felt like the forest was closing in on her, trapping her in its suffocating embrace. And then she saw it again. Not the man this time, but something worse. Shadows moved between the trees, impossibly large and fast. They didn't have a shape, just shifting darkness that seemed alive. Her headlights flickered and the car's engine sputtered, as if protesting against the unnatural presence surrounding it. "No, no, no," Emma begged, gripping the wheel tighter. The car lurched, the engine whining, but it kept moving. She didn't dare slow down, even as the shadows grew closer, their whispers filling her ears. Finally, she saw it. A break in the trees, the faint glow of streetlights in the distance. Hope surged in her chest as she pressed the gas pedal to the floor. The shadows seemed to retreat, their whispers fading as she broke free of the forest. Emma didn't stop until she reached her driveway, the familiar sight of her home grounding her in reality. She stumbled out of the car, her legs weak and shaking. Looking back down the road, the darkness seemed ordinary, the eerie stillness of the forest replaced by the hum of distant traffic. But Emma knew she'd never take that road again, because somewhere in those woods something was waiting, and it wasn't done with her yet.
Thank you for watching the full video. Subscribe to the channel. Like and share this story with your friends.